Good morning, Mr. Murray. The man you are looking at is Greg Smith, one of the highest-ranking fishing guides on the Susquehanna River, whom we recently discovered has secret fishing holes that he's not willing to give up. Your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to make Greg Smith think he's not giving up great fishing holes and share these secret spots with the viewers of Delaware Valley Outdoors. As always, should you or any of your TV force be caught or killed, the fishing commissioner will disavow any knowledge of your actions. This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Nice fish. Woo!
Should I get the net?
No, you're okay. Woo! You know, these fish, I love smallmouth fish.
Oh,
I mean, this is
they pull like freight trains.
You get him up here, and he's just going. This is a nice fish.
Trophy quality smallies.
I'm up someplace. I have no idea where I am because I'm sworn to silence. I'll try to get it out of him later. I'm up here with Greg Smith from North Branch Outfitters.
Branch Outfitters.
And he swore me to silence, or you're gonna have to kill me, I guess, right?
Well, yep.
Oh, look at this fish. What a nice fish. Nice fish.
Call it.
Nice fish. Oh, let me get down there and get this. The only thing I don't like about
watch the trebles.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about smallmouth and treble hooks, man. Actually, you know what, Greg? The bigger fish like this. Look at this fish.
Nice chunky fish.
This is gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, just give me a little hint. Where in God's name am I?
Well, you're on the north branch of the Susquehanna River in Bradford County. It's one of my favorite fall areas to fish. Mm-hmm. This particular area we're fishing here now is actually what we call push water, which is at the tail end of a big pool where it goes into a riff. And these fish are stacking up in probably about 6 inches to about 3 feet of water right in this push water.
Now, explain what a push water is.
Well, basically what we have is a pool, deep pool that comes down for probably a mile, and then as it comes up into the next section of riffs and then drops off, we call this push water. And what happens is the water comes out of the depths and kind of pushes up on that riff. And the fish stack right in here because of minnows and everything this time of year they're chasing.
Now this is a fairly, because you can see, you're like, what, 10 feet behind us, we get about 3 inches of water.
Right, right.
And then right in here, we get the deepest spot. Now, will these fish stay here all winter, or this is going to be the spot for them?
No, this is a spot for right now. What they're going to do is they're going to move up into the slower, deeper water come winter into their wintering holes, wintering pools.
Well, let's get back in there and see if we can catch some more.
Yes, they want the hard jerk bait.
They want.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice.
Come here, get over here. Now, let me go here, get up here. Now this bait I'm using is a jerk bait.
Right.
But one of the things you told me that these fish, especially this time of year, want to really almost a stop with the bait,
Yes.
right? It's a slow, you gotta let it.
You really want to pause the bait. For whatever reason, smallmouth biology, they see that bait twitch that excited them. They watch it and they pause. And the longer you pause that, especially when in the colder water, the longer the pause, that's what they want.
Right.
And they will just, like you're experiencing now, when they, you pause that bait and all of a sudden you feel your bait go whack. That's a good sign because the fish are aggressive.
That's something to remember, because like what we were talking is that instead of just throwing that bait out, jerk, 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 jerk. No, you got to pause, jerk it a couple times and then just let it sit there.
Let it sit. 5 to 10 seconds.
It's horrible. Your heart's going.
And it's amazing, yeah, and that's what happens. You get into a bunch of fish like this, and you get excited, and you tend to work it fast. And I get a lot of clients that do that, and they say, "Geez, I never catch anything on a jerkbait," and that is the thing. You've got to let it set. You just let the rod sit, and you can watch your line just like you're doing now, and you can watch your line. You'll either feel a casual, just a tick, or you can feel it go whack, and then just. A lot of times, if you're not holding the rod, they'll almost pull the rod right out of your hands.
Yeah, that's the hardest part for people to understand, that pause, because they expect that to keep the bait moving, that's going to attract the fish, but that movement of the bait, and then they'll sit there, they can't stand it.
Nope, can't stand it.
There's another one.
That's what I like to see.
Oh, I love it. They are just eating this bait up. They are just eating this bait up. Come here.
That's a good fish too.
Yeah. It is a very nice fish. Come here.
That's what it's all about, quality smallmouth.
Come here, darling. Come here, up here. Look at that fish. That fish is beautiful. These fish are eating well. Look at the belly on them.
Yeah.
Now, what's the primary forage up here for these fish?
Primary forage is I just missed one there. Primary forage is crayfish. And that's why we get the kind of the nicer, chunkier fish than the Delaware. I fished the Delaware several times, and we get what we call hammer handles down there. They're all long and skinny.
Right.
And these go wide and fat.
Yeah.
There's one.
Look at that fish.
Get it on the paws.
Right on that paws.
Airborne there. Acrobatics. That's a nice double.
Yeah. Beautiful fish. God.
I caught one the other day that was 16.5 inches long, and it came out of the water. And I swear to God, that thing was 20 or 21 inches long. It just come out of the water, and it was huge and fat. And you know, the guy that was with me, the client, we got it in the boat, and I'm like, that thing's got to be 20 inches. And I put the scale to him, 16.5. This thing was like this fat, and it was this wide, and just huge. Oh, there we go. Ooh, come off. Boy, you hit that hard.
Now, the fish we're catching, Greg, you say they're going to be all about the same size if we get to the pool, or what happens during the day?
Well, basically, in the fall, the fish tend to group up by size. It's almost like we call them wolf packs. You'll find fish that run 13 to 15 inches. And then you'll find fish that'll run 16 to 19 inches. And it all depends on time of day. Like a lot of times we'll come in here early in the morning, and you'll catch a lot of these 13 to 15 inch fish like we're catching now. And then you come back in once the sun warms up the temperature here, and these bigger fish will move in from the deeper water. There's one.
You got one? I missed one.
And the other day I had we were fishing with crankbaits, and the water was about 10 degrees warmer. And actually the fish that I had was 18 3/4. And my fishing partner, I was telling him to get the net, and he had his fishing rod in one hand and his net in the other hand. And I'm watching this, reeling this fish in. There were 4 other fish that were with this fish trying to take the bait out of his mouth. And I'm like, get the net, get the net, get the net. And then 2 seconds later, I'm like, no, throw your bait out, throw your bait out. Because they were just swimming with him. And they were just as big as that one.
Boy, they are really right on that
right
edge
on
of that
current
fast
break.
water.
It's amazing because a lot of people don't fish this kind of water.
Yeah, well, I think you would think that, what the heck's here, you know what I mean?
Right.
They would be like over by there or over there, but they're right on this edge. Now, you mentioned the water temperature is crucial here now, this time of year. what do you consider your fall water temperature and then your winter or late fall temperatures?
Fall temperatures typically in the 50s and 40s, upper 40s. Mm-hmm. I like to see, I think it triggers the bite 55 to like 48 degree range. Mm-hmm. It's been in a kind of a weird fall this year because the water temperature has stayed up. Last year it stayed up in the 60s until late October. Mm-hmm. And now it's just starting to, in the last couple of days, it's fallen down into the 50s, and the fish are kind of scattered, and they've been in these transition zones. Typically in the fall, you'll find them in rock wall areas, you know, 4 to 8 feet of water. Mm-hmm. And they just haven't, they're not there yet. And just in the last couple of days, the water temperatures dropped from like 62 to what, 53 this morning. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that that's going to trigger the fall bite and really come alive. Plus get them into the fall areas. Oh, like this typically, this isn't what I would consider a fall area. We hit that on the paws. They really want it slow.
Don't they? Well, I think that's pretty crucial too. If they want it on the, because the water temperature is dropping, they're going to want that slower movement.
Yep. And that's what's critical about the jerkbait fishing is the colder the water, the longer the pause. And now we're fishing, these are pointer, Lucky Craft pointer 78s. And I like to fish the pointer 100s, but they haven't been, yesterday that's all they wanted was the smaller baits. They didn't want the bigger baits. Or last week, they wanted the bigger baits.
I got one more question to ask you.
Yeah.
Where are we?
We are in North Jabip.
He's not talking. I'll get it out of him yet. You gotta get it. I'll find out where we are. Got one. Nice fish. Nice fish. Look at this one. You gotta tell me where this place is. How much is it gonna cost me? How much? We can talk. Oh man, these fish are nice. Look at the size of the fish. Look at the size of this fish.
That's average.
Oh.
Want to get into the big pigs. That's my favorite time of year. My favorite way to fish is jerk baits and spinner baits. That's my two favorite things to fish.
Beautiful.
And
gorgeous.
A lot of times in the fall, we'll get in the afternoons, get into a spinner bait bite, and that is incredible.
That's one of the biggest smallmouth I ever caught in the fall. Mm-hmm. Was in October, and it was 6.5 pounds. That was my biggest smallmouth ever. And I fished Erie and all the other places. And, but I caught it on a big spinnerbait.
Yep. Ooh, nice fish. Coming right at me.
Ooh, nice one.
Decent fish there.
Yeah. Decent fish.
They're all about the same size. They're chunky 14, 15-inch fish.
Fish. Now they,
when they're like this with your hand.
Now these fish aren't really, I mean, they're hitting hard today. So
right, they are.
But a lot of times they'll just slap at it too.
Yep.
So you always catch them up on the side to face there and stuff. But these fish are not, they're not slapping.
When they're slapping at it, that's one of the things you have to look at. When they're slapping at it and they're not taking the bait, it's either a key to change colors or change bait size. Like yesterday, I had a couple fishing a pointer 100, which is basically the same color bait, but it's a larger size. This is a 78. And they were coming up and just rolling at it, and they wouldn't touch it. So as soon as we went to a smaller bait, bang, bang, bang. And it's all dependent on what they want. Something, it's like my old football coach used to say, if something works, don't fix it.
That's right. So there's a tip for you. If you're out fishing a jerkbait and they're slapping at the side of it, change the color.
Yep, change the color,
size.
Change the size. Try both. There you go.
They are right in this little spot.
Right in that little chute.
Come on, sweetheart. These fish are just, you catch them 10 inches long, they feel like they're 14 inches long. 14, they're just so fighting fish. It's the only thing these fish are beautiful. I don't care if they're like a 10-inch fish feels like a 14-inch fish. A 14-inch fish feels like an 18-inch fish. And when you get a big dog, then you know it. But they're such a beautiful fish and fighting hard. Again, light tackle. You don't need much heavier tackle, do you? What do you recommend for your clients?
I usually use like a 6 to 7 foot rod. This is a 6'6" medium action St. Croix rod. I like to throw braids with flukes with a mono leader. Braid kind of keeps it up on the surface real well. Usually use monofilament line in the 8 to 10 pound range for spinning gear. I like primarily 10 pound tests. For my bait casters, I use 12 pound. BPS XL mono is my primary go-to line.
But you like that braided line for?
Yeah, I like braided line. I don't like braided line tied direct any. I have a lot of problems, especially when you're fishing in current and you get caught on the bottom and the trolling motor isn't powerful enough to bring you back upriver, and what happens is you'll be zinging line, with it going like this, and if you're not paying attention, you grab the line and it'll cut you like a razor in a heartbeat. So you have to be careful. I mean, if you do that, you basically have to grab your reel and pull straight. But since I've gone to a mono leader or a fluorocarbon leader, it's just a lot better because you really can feel everything, especially fishing a tube. And fishing these flukes, you can feel when you can't see that bait, because we're kind of looking into the sun because it's kind of hard right now, but you just feel that barely tick, and there he is. Ooh, nice fish.
He's going.
Couldn't catch up to him. He was running right at me.
Yeah, that fish that Greg's got there, you can see the swirl. It's almost like a largemouth hit.
Yeah. Almost like a topwater.
Yeah.
I'd love to. They're right in that little chute there.
Yeah. On a fluke.
He came back and got it.
Yeah, he came back. I'm pretty sure he came back and got that one.
He ticked me the first time. And
what we've done, I'm still fishing the hard jerk bait, as the case may be, and you went over to soft jerk bait or your fluke.
Yep.
Hold on. All right, you can talk while I can catch this fish.
Bob's throwing a chartreuse shad, and he's got a nice one on at the moment.
And you took the fluke.
I took the fluke, and what I did was I'm throwing it in a little shallower water. Last couple of days they've been in a real shallow water, up in this 6-8 inches of water, and you work that fluke across the water and they'll hit it. And it's amazing this time of year that they'll even get it in that shallow water. You oftentimes think that there's no way that fish's fins can't be out of the water, and they'll just lay in there and they're just waiting for minnows to swim by. And
now, do you work that fluke any different than, say, I'm using this, or do you basically do the same thing?
Basically, same thing. Different times of the year, you work it faster. A lot of times in the summer, they really want it ripped and then stop it, and then they'll come chasing it. Ooh, he slammed that. There's a whole bunch of fish right there, Bob. Yeah. There was 4 or 5 of it. Throw right in there with it. I saw them come up. There was 4 or 5 of them that came up right there all together. I saw this one come up underneath it. He sat there for about 30 seconds before he hit it.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Oh!
He got off. That was a good fish. I just had one too. They're right there in that chute.
That was a decent fish.
Yeah, it was. I saw your rod bend. And when you stopped the bait, if it didn't move, it just went, ugh.
Okay, and where are we again? We're not any place that you could tell me where we are.
No.
Okay.
Springtime we target primarily eddies and tubes, darker baits when the water's muddy.
And then that follows through the summertime. Then you go back to the jerk baits and the.
Yeah, summertime we throw a lot of crankbaits, a lot of moving baits. Here's one. Just come up. See the boil?
Yeah. Nice fish.
Oh, I love how they pull.
Now, oops, I just missed a nice fish, and you caught a nice fish too. Is there something that's holding these fish like above this rift now, or what is it there?
Yeah, this is just basically a big funnel that basically carries their food right down to them. So they're an opportunistic predator, and they're going to set right in these areas, waiting for whatever floats by, swims by.
You can really see that funnel effect right there.
And now for a closer look at today's tackle, Delaware Valley Outdoors presents the Tackle Box. For more information about the tackle used on today's show, go to DelawareValleyOutdoors.com.
All right, Greg, we're here with the tackle box section of the show. And well, let's put it this way, we caught a lot of fish on a bunch of different baits, but your secret baits for up here, you're going to have to tell the secret now. I'm sorry, some of the secrets have to be given. What do we have here?
Well, that's my favorite jerk baits are Lucky Craft pointers. This is a 100 size, it's an SP, it's a suspending bait, suspends in 3 to 6 foot of water. That color is called Pearl IU. Also, we have the 78 in that same version, which is this one here.
Let me just do it. Okay, now this is the same color variation?
Same color variation, just a smaller. It's called a 78 versus a 100. This is like a 3.5-inch bait. The fish today tended to key on the smaller baits versus the bigger baits today.
Now, this is another size bait, and what color is this?
That's called chartreuse shad. That's probably for clear water up here, one of my favorite baits that we have, favorite colors as well.
Now again, you said that you try to tie each size on, let the fish tell you what they're doing. Again, now these are all suspending jerk baits for springtime conditions and cold water conditions as in the fall that we have here. We got water temperature, what, the low 50s?
Yep, low 50s to mid 50s today.
Okay, now this is the lure. I think I had to take this home with me because this is the one that did.
Well, you owe me one because you lost that one to the muskie. So.
Well, what a bill I have to pay today. All right, what do we have here? This is a great lure here.
Yeah, that's a chartreuse shad pointer Lucky Craft 78.
78.
Just SP suspending.
Suspending.
They also make a deep diver in that'll dive a little deeper. But for up here for the water that we're fishing, I like the suspending.
We're anywhere from 1 to 3 to 5 to 7 feet. We're pretty much that.
Yep. And what you want to do is, like we talked about, is 2 to 3 twitches, and you don't have to go crazy on it. But this thing is to let it set. Too many people, they come up and they and they don't get anything. The fish want that pause. They want that pause, and it's anywhere from 4 to 10 seconds. And as the water gets colder, the longer you let it sit. Sometimes in the when we're fishing mid-November with the big pointers, and that's what they want, the big ones. You're going to let it set 20, 30, 45 seconds a lot of times.
Which is an eternity.
A lifetime. A lifetime.
All right. Now this bait produced some nice fish today too. Again, everybody knows that I love spinnerbait fishing, and this is a killer lure. What do we have here?
Okay, that's a 1/4 ounce War Eagle spinnerbait in tandem gold willow with a silver Colorado, and that is colors called Hot Mouse, and that's probably been my spinnerbait color. I've caught probably 98% of my fish on with a spinnerbait this year.
Now I don't want to say anything, but you probably fish this 98% of the time too, so that would give you the numbers. I love the color on this. If you could actually see this in the water, it is a perfect smallmouth bass bait. It's got the silver and the iridescent in here with a flake, and then you got to have some chartreuse.
Yeah, smallies love the chartreuse.
Now, do you stick with the 1/4 ounce in faster water or like in the springtime? Or just...
I use it primarily all the time. For some reason up here, the smallmouth like a smaller spinnerbait, anywhere from like a 3/16 to a 1/4 ounce.
Okay, now this is the special secret tube here, so you got to give the the name of it.
This is a secret, the secret tube. We coined this a couple years ago, or I coined it, nicknamed it the NBSCT, which is called the North Branch Secret Color Tube. It's a right bite tube. It's called chartreuse, or smoke chartreuse laminate is what the color is. It's got a smoke top with a like a chartreuse pepper bottom, and that color right there is an unbelievable fall clear water color.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of weight do you put on?
I usually generally fish it with either an 1/8 or a 1/4 ounce, depending on how heavy the river's flowing, mm-hmm. what kind of water depth we're floating, but normally an 1/8 ounce tube. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this is a great tube right here.
Yep.
This is I love this tube. Tell us about this one.
That is a hoghead mud pie tube. That's a great color this time of year. It's got the orange flake in it. Mm-hmm. Love it all summer long. Just hammer the fish on it all summer long.
And that's the tackle box. Right.
Ooh, that's a nice one too. Right there is an immature bald eagle right there.
Huh. Bald eagle.
That's a nice fish there.
Yeah, real nice fish.
You can't catch smallmouth on a spinnerbait in the fall.
Look at that fish. That is one pretty fish. Hey, I know I'm not supposed to tell where we are. Well, I can't because I really don't know. Anyway, Greg, I want to thank you for inviting me up to your secret spots up here on the North Branch. If you want more information, he'll tell you the secrets. I can't. Go to our website, Delaware Valley Outdoors. You write a little column. You give us fishing reports.
Yep.
You find out what's happening. He'll put you on some fish. Hey, I'm Bob Murray. I'll see you on the water sometime. All right.
Oh, I can see the back of your coat. These with the glasses, kind of look around. Don't smile out. It's serious. Something could kill you here at any minute. Stand by and do it. Reach in. Hold it there. Look at the mailbox. Do your collar. Look around. Real suspicious. Back one more time. Over the other shoulder. Like you're reading it. Flip it.